I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the city of Sterling Heights, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to all of you. Let's give a big round of applause for all of you that went out for the walk and are here today. A great tradition I think we started, and hopefully next year maybe we can get it up into the teens. Probably the coldest day of the year. But thank you for being here again. My name is Michael Taylor. I am the mayor of the city of Sterling Heights. I just want to make some brief remarks about why I think it's important for the city to hold a unity walk like today and sort of update you on some of the initiatives that we have and the reason behind them. And as I do that, I want to tell you, I recently picked up a book and started reading it. I've gotten only about 100, 150 pages through it so far, but it's really been impactful to me. It's a book called The Warmth of Other Suns. And has anybody here read The Warmth of Other Suns? So it's hard to put down right now. I just picked it up. It's written by, I believe, an author named Isabel Wilkerson, and it is the definitive story of the migration of African Americans from the Deep South, beginning in around 1915 and continuing until about 1970. And it's a topic that we really don't learn a lot about in schools. At least I don't recall learning much about it in schools. We talk about the civil rights movement. We certainly talk about slavery and the Civil War. But the migration that happened of African Americans, some 6 million or more, from the Deep South to the North, really transformed not just the South, but the North and the great cities like the city of Detroit, Chicago, New York, Oakland, California, Gary, Indiana, with an influx of people and the causes behind that. Now, we learn a little bit about in school, but I can tell you the things that this author talks about is really shocking. And we all know that slavery was overturned in the 1860s, and for a brief period even in the South. I think there was a time when African Americans were elected to legislatures and they enjoyed the freedoms that other people who look like me had at the time. But that slowly, or not so slowly actually, quickly evaporated. And with the inaction of Jim Crow laws, especially in the Deep South, although slavery was gone, it existed in all but name, essentially. There was basically a feudal caste system that American citizens were subjected to. They couldn't earn a living. They were constantly under the shoe of the ruling class, which, let's be honest, were whites in the South. And the story of the struggle of those people to find their way and to make it out of that system could not have been possible without the efforts of civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But more importantly, I think, without the collective spirit of the American citizens who saw that this system was unfair, it wasn't working, and it was the tens of millions of voices of many of your grandfathers and great-grandfathers and grandmothers who made that decision that we are not going to tolerate a life as second-class citizens. And so, to honor Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy, we're happy to host this event, to host a series of events through Black History Month, which will be starting soon, to honor his legacy and to commit to continuing the progress. I think on a day like today, it's important to recognize that we have, as a nation, come a very long way. We have made progress. But progress doesn't stop. It's a continuum that goes on into the future in perpetuity, and we must stay on that path. So events like today, I think we should recognize the progress that we as a nation have made, but also acknowledge that there's more work to do, and that Dr. King's legacy was not that he came, he did what was necessary, and the work is done. He literally gave his life for this cause. And each one of us in this room, I think, can continue that work by remembering him, honoring his legacy, honoring the work he did, and the work that so many thousands of others did, whether millions of others, whether they spoke at the National Mall to a crowd of tens of thousands of people, or whether they were silently just sitting in their spot in the bus and wouldn't get up, or whether they decided they're going to go into this cafeteria and they're going to sit where they want and have a cup of coffee, they're going to attend this school, that all of those voices and those stories, I think, can be summarized in the work that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did. And so we honor him and we honor all those who fought for the cause of freedom. Because what is this country if it's not a beacon of hope for the rest of the world, a beacon of freedom where every person, man, woman, no matter what your religion, your ethnicity, the color of your skin, or the beliefs in your hearts and minds, you have the right to be here. You have the right to participate. So I thank you for being here. I welcome you to the city of Sterling Heights. On behalf of our city council, our city administration, and our 135,000 residents, we commit to continuing the work of Dr. King. If there's more we can do, please tell us. If there's more we should be doing, please let us know. But on days like today, I think it's important that we gather today, show unity, and continue to commit to the cause of freedom and progress in the United States of America. So with that, I want to again thank you for being here, and it's my pleasure to welcome the member of our Ethnic Community Committee who's going to make some remarks, Carmen Williams. Carmen.
Good morning to everyone, to the residents of Sterling Heights, the Macomb County residents, friends outside of the community. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you all here today to our first ever Unity Walk. For that alone, we should be applauded, right? At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the Ethnic Community Committee. If any are present, I know I saw Iqbal and Cosetta. You can stand so we can wave. It's a great committee to be a part of. I have been on the committee since 2018, and we have made great strides in the city of Sterling Heights thanks to our mayor. He is very welcoming to new ideas, to the African American Coalition, to all the advances that we're trying to make for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we thank you, Mayor Taylor, for the opportunity. And it's not just for show. You know, sometimes we have events like this and it's just for show, but we actually are doing, making great strides in our community to make sure that we all feel included and to be seen. So at this time, we would like to welcome Ms. Nandy Comer, Michigan Poet Laureate. Nandy Comer? All right.
Hi, everyone. Oh, that's so, y'all faces are so beautiful on such a cold morning. It warms me. Thank you. I just wanted to say, before I read my poem, I wanted to just say that, like, I am always reminded of the legacy that I have inherited from Dr. Martin Luther King in almost every way in which I walk. I am currently serving as Michigan's Poet Laureate. I'm the first Poet Laureate in 60 years in the state of Michigan. I'm only the second in history and the first Black woman to grace this title. It is not lost on me when I'm out in the upper Michigan and Alpena and over on the western side of the state and even in Detroit and right here today, it is not lost on me the legacy that he has given us as a people. So this poem is inspired by his March on Washington, but also by his quote, "An injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere." Yes. Oh, to the deep lull in the back of your throat. Darling Georgia boy, singing that way should hurt. The wail and mourn should burn your dark mouth, but you are no soot-faced minstrelsy. Never the dark curtain propped up at the pale audience. Your calm tenor in your voice of the South made a jubilant hymn. You will say no to segregation and fall in love with freedom. You borrowed your language and your tongue from a history of speakers of love. Yours was risky behavior. And Selma, you knew the deep danger in the Negro cord fluttering from your esophagus. You refused to be a backdoor invitation or held in the shadows until the guests have arrived. Still, under the deep lull in the back of your throat, we hear the excellent archive. Son of salvation, you spirit a singular sound so lovely it swings recordings onto the chariot of your voice. And others will come. Others who have never heard your voice cut the Washington Monument. Those who have never heard you will step onto the phantom of your stage. They will carry in their voices the same haunted timbre and moan, the break and heartache that only a country can fasten to a voice. And though your struggle will seem like a footnote in the concert of their lives, you, dear Martin, are at the keystone at the hall of our history. Thank you.
What a beautiful poem. At this time, I would like to introduce you to my big brother in ministry and my mentor, Dr. Tariq Cummings. I would like to read his bio before he comes forward. He is very humble, but I just want you to know who you will be hearing from. He is a husband, a father, a pastor, and a friend. The Reverend Dr. Tariq Cummings has been devoted to spreading the love of God through God's Son, Jesus, by the power of the Holy Ghost. A reverend as a global and spiritual influencer, Dr. Cummings, also known as Pastor T, has graced the globe with his ability to engage, encourage, and equip God's people through workshops, social services, and worship experiences. He was born in Pontiac, Michigan. Dr. Cummings acknowledged God's grace at an early age. He has earned a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology from Flanders Smith College in Little Rock, Arkansas, and a Master of Divinity from Gannon Theological Seminary at the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta, Georgia. In 2018, Dr. Cummings earned the Doctor of Ministry degree from Gannon Theological Seminary at the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta, Georgia. He is the 2013 recipient of the United Negro College Fund Outstanding Young Alumni. In December of 2017, Gannon Theological Seminary awarded Dr. Cummings the 2017 Emerging Leader Award. Dr. Cummings humbly serves on the board of directors of the Thrive Christian Academy, which is a premier pre-K through 12th grade school in Atlanta, Georgia. He also is the proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Dr. Cummings previously served as the senior pastor of the All Good Road United Methodist Church in Stone Mountain, Georgia, from 2013 to 2015, associate pastor of the St. James United Methodist Church of Alpharetta, Georgia, from 2015 to 2018, and senior pastor of the Owsley United Methodist Church of Stonecrest, Georgia. In 2022, Dr. Cummings joined the staff of the Greatest Church, Second Ebenezer Church of Detroit, Michigan, as the administrative pastor. Dr. Cummings is married to the beautiful Tamika Cummings, who is his best friend and inspiration. They are blessed to have two amazing children. There is no one better equipped to discuss the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. than an ordained minister of the gospel, a community activist, a family man, and a man in the same fraternity. I'd like to welcome Dr. Cummings to the city of Sterling Heights.
Well, good morning. Good morning. I tell you, after that type of introduction, I don't know what to say or do, but how grateful I am to stand here before you as one who has been blessed by the life work of Dr. Martin Luther King and the life work of each and every one of you. And so, again, I count it an honor and a privilege to stand before you this day. What an honor it is to stand before you today at the inaugural Martin Luther King Jr. Unity Walk here in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Thank you for coming together on this significant day as we honor Dr. King's legacy and reflect on the power of unity in our time. Before I begin, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable Mayor, Mayor Taylor. Thank you so much, Mayor. To Mayor Pro Tem Liz, I just met her today. Amen. She opened the door for us. And also our distinguished city manager, Vanderpool. Amen. We celebrate our city council people and persons who are here today, and so we celebrate you and thank you for this awesome opportunity. Thank you for creating a space for justice for all, rather than a place where justice can just be tolerated. Secondly, I want to celebrate the program committee of the Sterling Heights Ethic Committee. Would you please stand, all those who are on that committee? I know you mentioned some names already, but let's just see their faces one more time. Thank you for your courage in pulling this together. We are a better community because of your sacrifice. And we know that more is to come, and we are excited about that more. Also, I would like to celebrate those who have decided to take this cold walk with me today. Some folk from Detroit have come with me. There are several members of our church, Second Ebenezer. I see one of our pastors here, Pastor Ingram, and Elder Millie. If you, Second Ebenezer, if you could just wave your hand so I know I'm not by myself. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I also want to celebrate my family who's here. As you mentioned, my wife is here, and my two beautiful children are here. Also blessed to have my mother here, Yvonne Cummings, and my uncle, Daryl Threlkel, who's also here with me. I would also like for us just to pause for a moment to consider all those who have made it possible for us to stand here today, whose prayers we stand upon and rest upon, whose dreams we still realize this day. So if we could just take a brief moment to just pause and consider those names and those faces. Amen. Today, beloved, as we observe Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, we find ourselves at a unique moment in our country's history. In a world that often feels fragmented and uncertain, we face a palpable and profound tension. This tension stems from the challenge that threatens to divide us along lines of race, class, gender, ideology, and identity. The painful legacy of systemic injustice continues to manifest in both overt discrimination and sub forms of biases, reminding us that the fight for equality is far from over. On November the 5th, our country exercised our right to vote during the general election. This election season serves as a reminder of another season we all know as well, report card season. You remember report card season? And how many of us with our report cards, sometimes we were proud to share our grades, and there were times when we try to hide our report card and hope that, we wouldn't have to deal with it. But both are tools. Election season and report card season are tools that measures our progress towards the ideal and goal before us. If we are honest, while we have made great strides in our community, we still see the urgent need for growth and improvement in various areas. The result of the election reflects not only our collective choice, but also the challenges we must confront. Issues such as education, healthcare, and social justice remain at the forefront of our national conversation, highlighting disparities that demand our attention and our action. Just as a student receiving feedback on their academic performance, we too must assess our societal achievements and our shortcomings. This moment, it calls for reflection and accountability. It urges us to engage in meaningful dialogue and collaborative efforts to foster real change. As we move forward, let us embrace the lessons learned and commit to nurturing a future that aligns with our shared values and aspirations. Dr. Martin Luther King envisioned a society grounded in love, understanding, and justice for all, a place where every individual is valued and where dignity is upheld and where differences are actually celebrated. As Dr. Kingsley pointedly stated, we must learn to live together or perish together as fools. This quote underscores the urgency of our situation, reminding us of our interconnectedness and shared fate. Yet amidst this holy tension, we find opportunity given to us by our Creator to show how far we have come and how far we still can go. As Dr. Carmen mentioned, I was born right up the road in a city called Pontiac, Michigan. A place that, while seemingly different from Sterling Heights, shares common themes found in most cities across our state. Both communities valued hard work, honesty, and never unwavering moral code, and a respect for God and for community. And when the opportunity arose for me to return to Michigan in 2022, I jumped at the chance because I knew what a community like Sterling Heights in Macomb County could offer me and my family. Even in a time of tension, our community rises above it. It rises above and sets the tone and standard, not only for our state, but for our nation. And as we stand at this critical crossroads, sisters and brothers, as citizens of this United States, we must view this moment as an opportunity to show our state and to show our world that in seasons of tension, we choose to demonstrate the power of being the beloved community. The survival of our society hinges on our ability to embrace unity rather than division. Live together as brothers and sisters is not merely a lofty idea, it is essential for our collective well-being. In times of turmoil, it's all too easy to retreat into our silos, am I right? Viewing those who are different from us as adversaries. Yet it's precisely in these moments that we must reach across divides and forge connections rooted in empathy and in respect. Our response to this call for unity will shape the future of our community and our nation. We face a choice to perpetuate fear and mistrust or to build bridges that foster collaboration and solidarity. The choice, sisters and brothers, does not rest in the White House. The choice does not rest in Lansing, but guess what? The choice actually rests with you and I. Today, you and I have the choice to make our communities better, and a stronger community makes a stronger city. And a stronger city makes a stronger county, and a stronger county makes a stronger state, and a stronger state makes a stronger region, and a stronger region makes a stronger country. And together, you and I can actually realize the dreams of our foreparents. Realize the dream of the great dreamer, Dr. Martin Luther King. Today, as we gather, others also convene in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration of the 47th president. This moment reflects the pulse of our nation, a time of hope, change, and for many, uncertainty. The recent election cycle has left many disheartened, exposing divides and division that feels increasingly profound. Yet amidst this atmosphere, we are reminded of our enduring power to unite. Can you say unite? Unite. Y'all making me feel like I'm at church now. Can you say that one more time? Unite. Unite. We have the power to unite and walk together in unity. Yes. Today, on this significant occasion, let us choose that path of understanding, the path of healing, the path of reconciliation. By committing to these values, we honor Dr. King's legacy and lay the groundwork for a future where love and justice and equality prevails. A beloved community where every voice is heard and life is cherished. Dr. King once said, injustice anywhere, you've heard it already, is a threat to justice where? Everywhere. This is our call to action. We cannot afford silence or complacency while injustice pursues. The divide and the division we witnessed during this election highlights how far we still have to go in realizing Dr. King's dream and our ancestral hope. The journey towards a beloved community transcends politics. I'm going to say that again. The journey towards our beloved community, it transcends politics. It calls upon all of us, regardless of our affiliations, whether it be gender, whether it be politics, whether it be our religious views. It calls us to push those aside and to treasure life, to treasure the fact that we are all created in the image of God. And with that image, we all should be given the same level of equality. Our true adversary lies in the forces that seeks to divide us and blind us of the inherent worth of every individual. When division consumes us, we lose sight of our potential to uplift one another. The struggle for justice, equality, and unity are ongoing, and many communities continue to grapple with systemic issues as economic disparities and racial injustice and the lack of access to education and health care. Advancing a beloved community requires unwavering effort and commitment. Restoring dignity to every person is paramount. Each individual deserves respect and to feel valued. Dr. King believed deeply in the inherent worth of every human being, and we must reflect that belief in our actions and in our policies. I said, Dr. King deeply believed in the inherent worth of every human being, and we must reflect that belief in our actions and in our policies. In our policies and in our actions. I'll keep saying it until you say something. We have to reflect them in every way possible. By uplifting those who are marginalized, we draw closer to realizing the vision of Dr. King. This call to action is for each of us. We cannot afford complacency or to lose hope, even in adversity. Dr. King said, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. This is our moment, Sterling Heights. This is our time to take that step to engage, advocate, and work collaboratively to bridge the divide that separates us. As we reflect on our progress, let us celebrate our achievement while recommitting ourselves to the work ahead. Together, 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 together we strive to create a nation that embodies justice, that embodies love, that embodies unity, a nation where every individual is valued, every voice is heard, and dignity is restored to all. In the spirit of Dr. King's vision, let us move forward with determination and compassion, ensuring that future generations inherit a legacy of unity and a society that reflects the dream of our forebears. Beloved, may we embody the hymn that states, lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Let us sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. Let us sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Sisters and brothers, thank you for this opportunity. May our commitment to unity, may our commitment to justice ever be before us. Let us walk this path together and create a bright future, not just for you, not just for your children, but for my children, and for those who look like me. Let's do it together. God bless you all. You know, as we consider the times that we're living in right now, we seem to be broken and feathered in many different ways. But today, I think we showed forth an example, not only for our region, but I think for the country, of what a city looks like when we come together under the banner of unity and justice for all.